Perfect. All right. So my name is Carlos, and I'm the founder and CEO of Product School. For the ones who don't know me, we built the largest community for product managers all around the world. We are over 1 million members, and we love to put out good content for the entire community, such as events. We do conferences. We also do training, a lot of things. But the beginning wasn't really that easy. This is a photo of myself a little bit over 6 years ago in San Francisco when I just had an idea. And it seems like timing was good because back in the day, product management wasn't really a thing. Still, a lot of people would ask me, what is the difference between project management and product management? Can you be a PM if you don't know how to code? Do I need an MBA? And all of those things that, with time, they are getting more and more standardized. And by the way, they're all myths because you can definitely be a good PM no matter what's your professional background. I also published a book called The Product Book, How to Become a Great Product Manager. This got published in 2017, and it became a bestseller on Amazon. It's very tactical. I think I was missing something like this in the market because you can find a lot of literature around how to crack an interview, how to hack your resume, but in reality, you also need to learn how to do your job. And there weren't really that many good practices out there. There was a lot of content, but no cohesive frameworks, and that's what we are trying to break down here at Product School. So the topic for today is the future of product management. I'm very excited because this is not Carlos' predictions for the next year. This is actually data that we collected from over 1,000 product leaders from all over the world. And we really wanted to understand where our industry is heading and what are the biggest opportunities for all of us, specifically mobile. So first things first, we all know what product management or product minimal viable product or product market fit is. But we don't talk enough about actually finding a personal fit to the company. As PMs, we are high in demand. And we know that. It's not too hard to find a PM job if you already have a good product experience. However, it's very important that you put your talent to good use. So after serving over 1,000 leaders, what we realized is that what's really important for them in order to decide what company to join is to feel aligned with the culture and the values of that company. And this might sound a little bit too cliche, but it's true because at the end of the day, as a product person, you are going to be building the future of that company. So if you don't believe enough on that future, it's going to be impossible for people who look up to you to believe more than yourself. So this is refreshing to know that, like people who are in this position truly care about the future and not just a paycheck. So why is it that there's so much demand for product management still now during this time? Well, the reality is that there's never been a better time to build digital products because stores are closed and everyone is online. And everything is a product these days. You don't need to be in Silicon Valley or work in high tech to need a product manager. If you think about it, any company that has more than one employee is using some sort of software to collaborate, at least internally, and try to be more efficient. Most likely, they also have a website and obviously mobile apps and other services just to display their services outside. So the more technology that we use, both for work and for life, the higher the need is to have more people who make sense of all of this information. So if you are in product, this is probably a good time for all of us. And the future looks bright for us, by the way. Now, something that we also wanted to understand is what's after product? Because we all talk a lot about, oh, this is how you break into product. Product is great. From the outside, people think that we are visionaries and that, we are just telling people what to do. But the reality is that the majority, so over 75% of the people who are in product, they see themselves in product for the rest of their life. That's huge because I didn't start my career in product. I started as a software engineer and I knew that I didn't want to spend the rest of my life coding. So if you are thinking about potentially joining this industry, it seems like people who are already there are pretty happy. And that's very reassuring for all of us. By the way, the names might change. Like if you think about it, 5-10 years ago, there are a lot of companies, especially agencies, would call this role producers or even project managers. That's changing a lot. Now there's a much more developed career path for product people that starts usually with the title of associate product manager and goes all the way up to VP of product. And something that's important to point out is that there are different options. Like not everyone has to become a people manager if what you love is to be a product manager. Let me explain that. So usually as a product manager, you're an individual contributor. But at some point, if your company has multiple product managers, at some point, they are going to need someone to also manage product managers. So there are two typical career paths. One is the individual contributor career path, which is from, let's say, associate product manager to product manager, senior product manager, and then maybe principal product manager or product lead. Those two titles, product lead and principal product managers, usually for people who still want to be individual contributors. They may not have direct reports. They're still working directly with engineers, business, and design. And obviously, they are financially rewarded for their contributions, and they are taking care of the most important products of the company. The other option is for people who want to become, let's say, people managers. So after senior PM, that's the key decision. Do you want to become a principal PM, or do you prefer to take the manager route and become a group PM? Group PM, then director of product, then maybe VP of product, and even chief product officer. So all of those roles at some point get a little more disconnected from the actual day-to-day, because you're not going to be working directly with engineers, business, or designers. You're going to be working mostly with other product managers. So food for thought here. But that's pretty much what this graph reflects. You have options, and there's no right or wrong option here. It's more for you to decide and know that even if technology evolves, which obviously will, you are in charge of your own destiny. I don't think robots are going to replace us. I think we are the ones building the robots. Now, what are some of the key skills for people to actually keep up to date and continue learning and growing in their career? So we wanted to break this down between two groups, hard skills and soft skills. For the hard skills, so we saw artificial intelligence, data, and UX design. I'm not surprised, because still majority of PMs come from either an engineering background or a business background. So I think we are missing a lot of design these days, and I want to make a call out for more designers to break into product. And even if you are in product and you don't come from a design background, this is definitely critical, because it doesn't matter if you work in B2B or in B2C, design is everything. And you need to develop an eye for design. And I'm not talking about knowing how to use Photoshop. I'm talking about really understanding the user experience across all platforms, mobile, web, and any other new device. And then in terms of artificial intelligence and data, same thing. Like, don't expect you to become a data scientist now. But the good thing is that now most of the tools that are built for PMs are extremely visual and low code. So you can really get to value as soon as possible. You can play around with those tools to create reports, analyze data without knowing how to actually get that data. And I think that's empowering the PMs, because when we started, there weren't really that many tools built for PMs from scratch. We were piggybacking on engineering tools, business tools, design tools. Now you can see how all of these other PM tools are becoming very, very friendly for us to try to be as self-sufficient as possible. And then in terms of soft skills, this is not new to me, because leadership, communication, and creativity have been around for a while. The only caveat that I would add, especially now during COVID times, is that communication is more about visual communication, since not everyone is in the same room. So it's very important how you communicate beyond what you're saying and beyond what you're writing. So all the opportunities that we have to interact online like this, or to create a video, or to use a digital whiteboard, meetings are becoming working sessions, and PMs are becoming facilitators. So it's more about really co-creating a space where people can feel empowered rather than just telling people what to do, because there's a lot of room for misinterpretation. Now, let's see what's the future look like for us. We asked the PMs, what do you think is going to happen with this? And they all, over 85%, feel very positive. They might be a little bit biased, but I agree, I tend to agree with this. I think the title will change, and that's totally okay. But the actual need of having someone who understands people and is able to bring them together to be aligned on a vision is something that it's been as old as everything that you can imagine. So don't be too attached to the title, but know that what we're building now is absolutely relevant. and it's not going to change no matter how many robots we build. In terms of industries, I think this was also an interesting topic. We wanted to ask PMs like, okay, if you can decide where you want to spend your energy beyond just having a cultural fit with the company, what are some of the industries that you think that are going to be more important and needed for disruption in terms of product? And it was refreshing to see that people were talking about mobility, health, agriculture, water, and not just super high-tech problems that sometimes are so minimum that don't make a difference compared to other things that can make a much better impact across the world. So overall, these were the main highlights of the report. It's available and absolutely free. So if you want to get a copy, just go to futureproductmanagement.com or scan this QR code and you'll get access to the PDF version right away. And I also want to make sure that I have time to answer questions and have a good chat with all of you. So let me go back to the main screen and try to see what's up. Let's see. Yes, I'm going to put the link actually here so it's easier. Future of product. I believe, let me double check just to make sure I'm giving you the right one. Futureproductmanagement.com. Yes. I will take you. Cool. All right. Well, thank you everyone for your time. And if you have any other questions after this session and want to connect with me on LinkedIn, you know where to find me. Have a good one.